Hi stock investors, JJ here, welcome back. Well, today we're going to look at Aswath Damodaran, what he's saying about the current market, the tech stock correction, what he's saying about the Mag 7 and Berkshire selling Apple, which I did do a previous video about. So let's get into what Aswath Damodaran, the Dean of Valuation, is saying.
Joining me now, the so-called Dean of Valuation, Aswath Damodaran, NYU Stern School of Business, a professor of finance. It's good to see you today. What do you make of what's happening, especially related to mega caps and the growth trade?
I think it's in a sense a correction that we've been waiting for all year because people have been warning us about this. But I think
when he says people have been warning, he is talking about himself possibly there. I've made videos before. You can go back and see that. I'll leave a link in the description as well to previous videos saying the Mag 7's overvalued. He says Nvidia was insanely overvalued not so long ago, but he does own these stocks, so he's not completely bearish or a hater or anything like that.
I think that, some perspective is needed here. I mean, you look at these stocks, clearly the last week has been horrific. Look at them again, a month ago, again, horrific.
Let's just see that. If you do go back, as he was saying, 5 days down 6.53%, the NASDAQ, and a month it's down 11%, and year to date still up nearly 11%. So that's the context of what he's talking about here. It is in correction territory. And if we think of correction territory as 10%.
But you go back to the start of the year. I mean, come easy, go easy. You've added trillions in market cap. You're losing $1 trillion in market cap. So from that perspective, I think some of this cleaning up is long overdue. So I'm not surprised. I'm just surprised it happened so quickly and essentially in such a compressed time frame.
It happened very quickly. If we look at Nvidia over the past month, it's down 18.68%, but still year to date up 116%. So it did fall there, down 23%, which is significant. And as he said, it happened pretty quickly in the end, but he has been warning of this for a while. He doesn't predict, say, like a Tom Lee or a Dan Ives predicting what's going to happen, but he did say these were expensive and he wouldn't be surprised if there's a pullback, and he had been waiting for it.
You're not only a trusted observer, you're a shareholder in many of these companies. So take me inside your own head today on how you're looking at this pullback, whether it's an opportunity you see or you're simply waiting because you think more is to come.
No, all year I've been saying I would not buy these companies at prevailing market prices starting in March, other than Tesla, which I added earlier this year. At the same time, though, I would not be in a hurry to sell them because I think they remain. I mean, in spite of all of the bad news you've heard about them in the earnings reports, they continue to make money. It's relative to expectations, they might have under-delivered. But look at the revenue and earnings numbers. They've come in surprisingly close to expectations outside, again, of Tesla, which had that underperformance in earnings.
Tesla did have an underperformance. I did make a video about that. Going through the earnings, you do see a lot of Tesla, I dare say, pumpers on YouTube, just not even looking at the numbers properly or just saying it's all in the future. But Dean of Valuation does look at the numbers. But he did think Tesla, obviously, as he said, was a decent buy earlier on. But the other ones, and especially Nvidia, not a buy. And so now we're seeing a correction. Will it continue? We'll have to see. There's a rebound.
I just think the mood has shifted. What had been good news 2 months ago is now bad news. And that's the nature of markets. Now, and I'm letting it ride in my portfolio. And there's pain in my portfolio. But again, with perspective, I'm okay with that pain.
There you go. He's still got these stocks not selling, and he obviously owns most of them. I don't know if he owns all of them.
When you heard about the Berkshire move in Apple, your reaction was what?
I think that Berkshire is just overinvested in Apple. Any company that ends up with 30% of its portfolio in one company is asking for trouble. That's always been a problem. I think that, I'm glad they got out from under the prom before it was, in a sense, too late.
Well, let's look at Apple. It's gone down 11, nearly 12%, and part of that will be reaction to Warren Buffett, Berkshire Hathaway selling nearly half of their portfolio of Apple stock. And they have been selling Bank of America stock as well. I made a video about that. The previous video, I'll put a link to that in the description as well. If you want to see more about that, about Buffett selling, why did he sell? And Aswath Damodaran saying here, likely because they were over invested in it, that it was really top heavy in their portfolio, possibly Warren Buffett, he regretted not selling Coca-Cola back in the late 90s when it got into a bubble. So maybe he's not necessarily thinks it's a bubble, but he did sell down some of the massive stake.
I think they were dealing with a portfolio concentration problem. And I don't think of it as a signal that they think Apple is overvalued. I just think it's a signal that having 30% of your portfolio in one company is never a good idea.
Well, I mean, they certainly enjoyed the fruits of the run on the way up.
Yeah,
they did. It was been a multi-bagger for Berkshire Hathaway, the Apple, when they bought it back in 2016, 2017. We've had a lot of multiple expansion from Apple since then.
But I think it is, you don't want to risk an entire company on one stock. And I think that's always, even when times are good, it's never a good idea. So the fact that they made money on it doesn't take away from the fact that strategically and tactically, it was a bad idea to have that much money in one stock.
I mean, that's a big call to say Warren Buffett, that was a bad idea to have that much. And now he's sold it down. I mean, we're looking at that quarter after quarter. In the first quarter of 2024, Berkshire did sell down about 10% of Apple. And then in that second quarter, we can see now that they sold a lot more. But they do still hold 50%. Will they sell more? I don't know. Aswath Damodaran thinks that they were top heavy. And if we just look at these other stocks, we look at Tesla, look at the correction that's happened. Tesla down 23% and it's down for the year. Of course, it's around 200. It got to over 400, so down nearly 50% from there. Microsoft down nearly 15% now. This is a significant correction. Apple, as we said, down nearly 12%. Amazon is down from the high as well. Look at that, straight down there, 19% down. These are the Mag 7, by the way, of course, if you're not sure what the Mag 7 is. And Meta, not doing too badly. Their earnings came out. It was pretty good. There's people saying the shoots of the AI are actually starting to work there. And Alphabet also down. So all of these going through a correction. Nearly 17% down for Alphabet. And Netflix, which I like to look at, it was part of the FANG. Remember the FANG? We don't talk about that anymore. It's not part of the Mag 7. But it is down nearly 12%. So all of them in correction territory there. Also like to look at Alibaba, which is really a mega cap company. But we can see over the past 5 years that it's come way down. But over the past month where these have been having a correction, the Mag 7, it's actually up 6%. So I'm going to keep my eye on that one. We'll see what happens there. And Bill Ackman came out with this tweet here, which I think is significant for this current market correction. What's happening? He said the Federal Reserve was too slow to raise rates. Now it's too slow to lower them. And there has been criticism of these very wealthy billionaire investors crying for a rate cut. And Jeremy Siegel from Wharton, professor at Wharton, saying there should be an emergency rate cut of 0.75%. What do you think of that? By the way, if you're getting value out of this video so far, do remember to hit that like button, smash that like button to help the algorithm to spread it to more people. I'd really appreciate that. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you agree with Aswath Damodaran here that this correction is long overdue? He said that Nvidia was really the biggest momentum stock that he'd ever seen. And I made a video about that and I put that in the description, what he was saying back then. Now, I have partnered with ShareSite here, if you don't know already, to bring my community, my viewers, a special offer here for ShareSite, which is a portfolio tracking and reporting tool that makes following your investments easy, including Bitcoin here as well. So I have a couple of different brokers and I can bring automatically my trades in to see the true value of my portfolio, the true performance over time. Then you can go back historically and bring trades in. So if you're interested in that, there'll be a link in the description to this landing page. There's a video here to all about it. Also, don't forget about Patreon here. I do weekly investing updates there and also stock analysis. I'm up to number 6 here doing these short modules of stock analysis if you're interested in learning more about that. Not stock tips, but learning actually about stock analysis. I think that's the best way to go, definitely. But also weekly investing updates that I don't show anywhere else. As I said, I'll leave a link in the description to that if you want to check that out. You can also join for free over there to get these videos ad-free as well. So join me over there if you want to. I'll put a link on screen for those on YouTube to a video that YouTube thinks that you should watch next. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next one.